Go ahead. What do we got?
How's Dalen Hayes looking?
He's looking great.
How's his health?
His health is great.
So he is.
Yeah, he's cleared. He's cleared to practice and play. Yeah.
How about Troy Pride?
Practicing.
And moving well, or
I'd say he's okay. He's going to probably play, but we think we got to use Dante and him, and I think you'll see probably a couple of corners play. But he's probably better than I thought.
Is Bracey, I mean, I know you've thrown him in there a few times, is it getting closer to getting more extended time in situations like this? Or not necessarily?
I trust him. It's just the physicality piece more than anything else. He's got great make-up speed, plays the ball pretty good. Probably wouldn't want to extend him too much, but he's a guy that we can put on the field.
Avery Davis, he played a little bit, he only got one carry
Yeah.
last week, but what have you seen exactly from him on the practice field that keeps you encouraged that he's somebody that can help you?
So the transition is a difficult one, just from a physicality standpoint. And I think just getting banged and holding on to the football, all the things that are required running between the tackles is probably the biggest adjustment for him. You get him in space, he's really good. And I think what we're trying to do is develop him as a running back that can play in all downs. So that's where we are. I mean, he could play in limited roles for us. We'd like to see him continue to develop in all facets. So that's why it's taking the time that it has to develop him in all facets.
In watching the TV version of the game, I found it interesting that after Dexter Williams' long run, a lot of guys on the sideline are happy and hugging him, and then the camera comes back a few minutes later, and the same thing is going on, and then a little bit later after that, the same thing is going on. My point is, everybody seems to be so happy for him and excited for him. What is his relationship with the rest of the team?
Well, I think it's good. Our guys are really supportive of those that have persevered and done it the right way. I mean, he's been accountable. So I think if you're accountable and responsible, there's a seat for you, and so I think that's probably the reason why you see that kind of support that he's gotten. If he wasn't accountable and responsible, I think that maybe our guys would be happy for him because it helps the team. But I think that it goes further, and you see them pulling for an individual, and so that's why it gets a little deeper.
Alex Bars had surgery earlier this week.
He did.
When?
Tuesday, yeah. Went well, yeah. Everything excellent. Yep.
Was Dexter's runabout here's the film, all 11 guys do your job, and then something fixes it?
Yeah, I mean, that's, execution on the goal line in a big moment of the game. Yeah, that's 11 guys working together to make a play. Pretty good run sequence there on the goal line. The one before, maybe not so much. But yes, I would say that was pretty big. We're all 11 guys playing together.
At the midseason point, you don't say a lot of things surprise you, but I mean, if you took out the quarterback dynamics, does anything really surprise you about this team, or is through 6 games sort of what you thought you could get?
I think that what you're hoping for is more for as coaches that we see. We're looking for that development piece to occur more so than we're surprised. We're always thinking that that's going to occur, and so the defensive line development, the wide receiver development. Remember, we didn't have a lot of experience and a lot of catches at the wide receiver position. I think we're becoming much more dynamic at that position. And then certainly the defensive line, those areas have really blossomed. So I again, I wouldn't use the word surprised as much as really pleased that they have developed at the level that they have.
When you were figuring out what you want to do with Alex, how did Josh Lugg ever enter into that equation? I mean, he was getting first team reps for a week in August when Tommy was a little bit banged up. And I'm just curious what the gap is between him and maybe Trevor or Aaron.
He's a good player. We just think that, right now Banks is a better option for us.
Brian, when I asked you about Elston earlier in the week, you mentioned his patience. What about the flip side of that with kids, especially Kareem and Dalen Hayes, that came in with a lot of hype? How do you sell patience to them at their position, and how did they handle it?
I think each one of them has handled it in their own way. I think I'm proud of Khalid. Had some rough moments that he has matured from. I think his development for me, Khalid, has been one where I think his off-field development has really been beneficial because it's helped him on the field. Growing up as a young man off the field here in Notre Dame and our community has really helped him as a football player. I just think that his approach to things has been shaped by his time here at Notre Dame and our community. As it relates for Dalen, I think he's a young man that has a different personality. He's much more outgoing in a sense, and I think he wears his kind of day on his sleeve a little bit more than Khalid, and so we're constantly making sure he's okay. Because he can. It's important that you don't get beat up too much. With good days and bad days. So Khalid, has kind of handled himself with adversity and has kind of progressed quickly. Dalen, he's a young man that has definitely matured, but he's such a high energy, high spirit guy that sometimes we just got to remind him that it's not all going to happen today. And so I think their personality is a little bit different from that respect. And Khalid, I think, wasn't looking to set the sack record. Dalen, feels like he should, and we have to remind him he's making great progress. He's a little too hard on himself at times, and we have to remind him. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
One of them is a little bit more, realistic.
With the bye week, is there maybe more of an inclination to want to reduce the snaps for Dalen or Tony Jones or Troy?
We just want to get to the bye week. That bye week is going to give us the time to rest these guys up, and then that's really the time that we'll kind of then assess where we are. But no, I think this is all hands on deck. This week we're pushing them. They're pushing themselves. They've done a really good job. I'm really pleased with our guys, and they were really workmanlike and businesslike. The way they've handled things, no drama. Go to work. But they know that they've got a break coming up after, this Saturday. They've got to play well on Saturday against a physical team in Pittsburgh. And then they know they've got some time off after that.
Is that maybe the best motivation of all for them, the realization that they can maybe decompress and go home for a while?
I think it's in the back of their minds. They want to play well first. I think that's the biggest motivation, is to play well on Saturday and to play to the standards that they have set. We haven't talked much about time off. We haven't talked much about the bye week. I don't throw the negatives at them, like, hey, you better play well, or, you got a bye week. Or I try to stay away from that stuff, and we really just talk about, keeping to the standards and the way we prepare.
Brian, Pittsburgh lost its middle linebacker, but you say they're physical. What impresses you about their defense, overall defense?
I think, third down, they got a really good scheme. Randy Bates is, I know very well, he plays a lot of guys, keeps their guys fresh. They play with a chip on their shoulder. They're going to play hard. And, anytime you get a team that has, that kind of demeanor, they're going to keep getting after you. They take the ball away, too. So they're well coached. First and second down, they're going to be impressed, and they're going to force you to make some plays. Nothing's coming easy. You got to go make plays against their defense. If you watch all of their games, teams have to make plays. Syracuse didn't make some plays that they had made because they forced them into some turnovers. And then on third down, they're very difficult to move the ball on third down.
Kurt Hinish has really improved getting off blocks this year. How has he?
Well, he's dedicated himself to being better in the weight room. He's physically fitter, stronger. I think he's really – look, I mean, he was a young guy playing last year too. So with him and Myron playing last year as young players, there's going to be that developmental curve that you're going to naturally see. But I think the physical strength, his ability to control his opponent with his hands and now get off blocks, is a natural progression. Well, him and Myron have really, first step quickness, and then add a second year in the weight program and add their strength to it. And Mike does a really good job of them using their hands. I think, this is the natural progression that we were hoping to see with him.
Tony Jones is all good to go?
Yeah, Tony's good.
Speaking of Myron, I think he's 6 weeks into what?
Yeah.
10-week. How's that going?
It's good. I mean, we had an X-ray. The healing has begun. He's getting that, cloudiness over the area that was surgically repaired. I'd say he's probably, another month away.
And you would use him again because you can use up to the 4 games?
Yes, sir. Yeah, absolutely. Good? Yeah, sure.
If you were looking at your defense line sort of like an offensive coach, breaking them down, getting ready to play them, what would you say makes it
Well, where do you start? I mean, 42 is a dynamic pass rusher. I mean, Okora is, he's hard to block. So many twists and movement games up front. Very difficult to handle him. Kareem is physical at the point of attack. Then you got Jerry Tillery that at the 3 technique, if you got to decide, are you going to single block him? If you don't, he's at the 3 technique. So how do you get, what do you do? Do you down block him with the tackle? It's just a really difficult situation when you got a guy that's that big and that quick on the interior, and then he covers up Drew Tranquil. Drew's able to run free because he's got the 3 technique into the boundary. So just some really, really good players that are difficult matchups because they become individually hard to defeat one-on-one.
when you look at last week against Virginia Tech, there was a lot of snaps in the second half where you had 3, sometimes 4 of your backup defensive linemen in the game. What does it do for a play caller from Mike Elson to be able to get production even when it's not just this game, but we've seen the past, to be able to get production when you do go to your second string?
Well, I'll tell you what, it makes it competitive in practice. You've got guys wanting to get back out there. You got guys that want to get in the mix, and makes it very competitive, on a day-to-day, practice schedule where guys are really chomping at the bit to try to get in there and want to be part of the nickel package or the dime package or trying to get on the field in first and second down.
Thank you, guys.
All right.